Hi everyone, this is Kim with Get Smart Now 2011, and this video is in response to Not a Farm Girl. She did a video on rabbits for meat and asked for people to respond with answers to her questions. I figured it's late, I wouldn't remember all of them, so cheat sheets. Okay, so alright, raising meat rabbits. You were talking about the location in your barn. It's covered and it's got several walls. That would be perfectly fine for rabbits. If it does get a little colder for your liking and the rabbits seem to be getting a little on the chilly side, that's my little prince in the background, then you can always do something to help block the wind. Our rabbits are in hutches. They're not underneath the shelter, so what we do is we use the old feed bags and we'll just tack them up in front of them, in front of the hutches, and that blocks the wind. So you could always do that, or staple some clear plastic up on your chicken wire wall if it's really cold. But rabbits actually do better in the cold than they do in the heat. Let's see. What else? The cages. Doesn't seem to matter what kind of cages you build or buy. They will all give out in just a matter of time. We have learned a lot in the years that we've been raising rabbits, and I actually have a video, the last rabbit video that I did, the update. I was showing one of the newer hutches, and how we had to repair some of the older hutches, and how we fixed that problem by going with a little bigger wire. So you may want to check that out for some tips. I really do like our hutches. You could do the same thing, just putting wire on the top instead of putting metal or anything on the top, since it is already going to be in an area that is already covered. Let's see. I'm actually going to be doing another video about our rabbit hutches and some pros and cons on it. And you were talking about wanting a composting area, and at first I just used plastic totes underneath it. Rabbits seem to go in the exact same spot all the time, and that worked great. It caught it and everything, and it was easy to pull out. But I have since then came up with a better idea, and I'm getting ready to build those and attach them to our hutches, so stay tuned for that video. You may like it and may want to decide to do it also. Let's see. What breed? It really just depends on what you're looking for. If you're wanting a meat rabbit, most people will say get a Californian and a New Zealand and breed them, and that tends to produce a really good meat rabbit, good in size and everything. It's really up to you. Rabbits, they have a tendency to multiply, and you have a tendency to want to keep, oh, that one's so cute, I'm going to keep that one, and before you know it, you end up with a bunch. Then you have to make the decision on which ones to get rid of. That goes in with how many. I would just start off with 2 females and 1 male, and the reason is because you will want to keep some. And you can get overpopulated pretty quick in doing so. We started out with 3 rabbits, and now we have over 20. So there you go. What to look for when you're going to buy a rabbit? Okay. Look at their eyes. Make sure that they don't have any goo coming from them. Make sure that their noses aren't running. Make sure they're not sneezing. Check their teeth, try to look and see if their teeth are overgrown. You need to keep some kind of wood in with your rabbits so that they have something to chew on to keep their teeth down. because they continue to grow. If you don't, their teeth will start growing out of whack, and then you have to file them down and all this stuff. So look for that so that you don't have to deal with that as a beginner rabbit person. And look at their ears to see if they have ear mites. Now, ear mites is an easy thing to take care of, just a little vegetable oil and, you know, for a few weeks in a row, and it'll clear it right up. But it's better to buy from somebody who does pay attention to the rabbits and don't have those issues going on. So that's a few things to look for. Look at their little feet. See if they've had, you know, something to rest on, or if their feet are hurt, and so on and so forth. Just little things like that. And see if they're aggressive or not. Being a beginner rabbit breeder, producer, you really don't want to start off with some that are going to, you know, pounce forward at you or try to bite you, or, you know, scratch the fire out of you. So check that out. Also, check out, you know, how to actually hold a rabbit. You know, hold them by their ears, and how you hold them to keep them from going loud in your arms and scratching you to pieces. And you may want to look up trimming toenails too. Okay, let's see. How many? It's really up to you. I would start small because, like I said, they do tend to multiply. You do tend to see one out and about and say, oh my goodness, I want that one, it's so cute. Me, I have several kinds, and it's just because I liked the way they looked. I started off with one kind and thought some of the other ones were cute, so there you go. How many times can you safely breed a rabbit in a year? We don't normally breed our rabbits more than 2 times in a year, and I mean, I'm sure that you could breed them a lot more than that, but we have so many, there's no reason for us to breed them more than twice. And when you do breed them, before you rebreed them, some people will breed them back to back. I mean, as soon as they have babies, and then they'll rebreed them so that when those babies are weaned, the other babies are being born. You have to be cautious of that, because your mama rabbit could get really worn down and skinny and stuff, and then have another litter coming right after she's weaning the first set. So it's up to you on that, but you know, we don't personally breed more than 2 times a year per rabbit. Let's see, what feed? We feed normal pellets from our granary, and hay and greens, grow a little bitty garden for our rabbits, and we grow clover for them. Growing stuff for them. Do a little rabbit garden. Do carrots. I'll give you a list of things. Winter care, do you need a heat lamp? No. Rabbits do better in the winter than they do in the summer. They like the cold better than the heat. Okay. How do you keep water from freezing? There are water bottles that are heated, you know, that keep it from freezing. They're more costly, and usually what happens is just like just like the ones you put in horse troughs, usually 2 seasons and they're done, because the water, once you unplug them for the season, the heating elements, coils, whatever, they corrode in there, and then they stop working. We don't do that. We get the, you know, the rubber bowls for horses that you put feed in and stuff from the granary. I think you can actually even get them at Super Walmarts also. We use them, and here's the reason why. When we go out to do the rabbits, if the water is frozen, I just take them out, I put them on the ground, and I give them a little kick with my heel right in the middle of the bowl when all the ice comes out, and then I can refill them real quick. And it's fast, and you can do it really quick. On our cages with our males in them, excuse me, I do still use water bottles, and that's because we kind of scrapped that male hutch up really quick, so it's not the same sizes as it would have normally been if I were taking the time and building a normal hutch for them. And so I didn't want to take up any more of their space with the water bottle, with the rubber water bowls. So I use the water bottles in them. Now this is what I do. I buy twice as many water bottles than I need, and I keep one set in the house, and I fill the other set up and take outside. When it's time to change them because they have frozen, then I'm in the house, so I fill the water bottles up in the house. I put them in buckets, and I carry them out, and I just exchange them and bring the frozen ones in. And that way I'm not having to stand outside in the cold any extra amount of time filling up water bottles. And by the time they need a water bottle again, then those other ones are unfroze. So that's what we do. There's really not a whole lot of ways to get around that. The less rabbits you have, though, the quicker that task goes. So you may want to consider that also. Rabbit feed. He said, what do you feed rabbits? Mostly hay. You pretty much cannot overdo them in hay. If you are putting too much hay in there and they're just wasting it, then just don't put as much until you figure out about what amount each rabbit will eat a day. Grassy hays, grass-based hays, timothy and oat, rye, that kind of stuff. Not a lot of alfalfa. Let's see, what we do is we grow clover for the rabbits, and I filled up an area and planted clover, and that you just go out and pick a bucket full of them, take them to them, give each of them some. It really cuts down on the pellet feed, and they love it. So you may want to think of that. Just till you up an area and plant some white clover. A lot of people say purple clover, but it tends to, when you cut it or rip the tops off, as usual, I just go through and rip it with my hands. I'm not pulling the roots out, but I'm not just getting the top of the clover and the flowers either. The purple ones, it tends to, I don't know, it just goes away faster. I've had better luck with the white clover, and then it just seems to just keep coming back and keep coming back. In the summertime it will slow down, but then when it starts getting cooler out again, it pops right back, to being high production again. Pellets should only be about probably about 12% of their feed. Really need hay and pellets. There's a lot of things that you can feed them otherwise if you grow a garden, or if you're just get good deals at the produce stand or whatever, and I'll list a bunch of them right now. You can give them lettuce. Oh, let me back up. When you go to buy rabbits, make sure to ask everything that they eat, that person is feeding those rabbits, because if they're only feeding them pellets, then you don't want to be throwing a bunch of other stuff in with them, like vegetables and stuff, because you'll cause them bloat and they can die. So I'll ask that, make sure to find out, so that you can slowly introduce the new feeds. Like if you're wanting to give them carrots or radishes or whatever, you can just give them a little bit at a time until you build that up and until their systems are okay with it. Excuse me. So here's some things. Never iceberg lettuce, romaine lettuce, celery, radish greens, green parts on radishes, spinach, turnips. Hold on a second, I'm drying out here. Sorry about that. Turnips, watercress, chard, kale, peas, Brussels sprouts, pumpkins. Make sure there's no seeds in it. Apples. Make sure there's no seeds in that. Asparagus, watercress, red cabbage, sunchokes, endive, fennel, tomatoes, pears, bananas, strawberries, raspberries also. Pardon me. mint, parsley, sage, basil, oregano, cilantro, dill, savory. All of those are great for rabbits. Just make sure that the ones don't have seeds in it that I mentioned. And that's about it. I'll be doing a video here real soon on showing my new system that I'm building to collect the compost from our rabbits. So stay tuned. Check that video out. I hope I helped. Hope I answered all of your questions. And have a great day, Not a Farmer Girl. This is Get Smart Now, 2011. Kim, see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.